Good morning, everybody. Golivegranny here. A couple of minutes late. Sorry about that. Something just happened just as I was about to go live. And now I got a frog in my throat. Not a good start. Hang on. So today I am going to link up with lovely Kerrie Phipps from across the world. She's over in Australia. Here in the UK, it's just after 11:30 in the morning. Over where Kerrie is, it's 8:30 in the evening. We did attempt a live yesterday the other way. Hi, everybody coming in. We attempted a live the other way and yesterday, and unfortunately, technology it didn't beat us. We did manage to live, but we lived in about 3 chunks. So what I decided is I would hop on Facebook Live today and invite Kerrie in as my guest. And so today it is, what is it? Let's see. It's Tuesday, the 25th of September, 2018 for anybody looking in. If for the future, on the future, I mean, anybody in the future looking in is what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to let Kerrie know I'm live. I don't know if she's in the broadcast yet. So hopefully she will be here shortly. Did she come in? Let's have a look. If she's in the broadcast, let's have a look and see if I can. Aha, she is. So I'm going to add her straight away. I didn't see her come into the broadcast. So let's crack on with this. Thank you in here with me today. That's really nice. Yeah. I've invited. There she is. Woo! Looking on gas today. How are you?
This is good. This is exciting. I didn't know you could actually do this on a public page. I couldn't see how to join. So thank you. I feel very close.
Right, yes. Yeah, I didn't actually see you come into the. Sorry, I didn't see you come into the broadcast, but Joseph told me that you were here, or somebody told me that you would come in. So let's hope we have a better experience than yesterday. So let me just. I'll just say. I'll just do a quick intro. Kerrie and I have known each other. We've never actually met in real life, but we feel like we know each other, for years. My son Tristan was in Australia and linked up with Kerrie, and then you actually came in. We were doing a conference, and if you remember, you were a guest speaker. We streamed you in from the other side of the world into the cows in the Isle of Wight. So why don't I be quiet now and let you introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do.
Okay, great, thanks. Well, I do love talking to strangers. I wrote a book called Do Talk to Strangers, How to Connect with Anyone, Anywhere. And just recently, the Do Talk to Strangers Travel Toolkit. So you can see it's like half the size and just super fun. So I'm really passionate about helping people connect with confidence and with authenticity, because we can make such a difference in people's lives. And this is why I've been chatting to Lynn this week about that very thing, because she lights up not only the Isle of Wight, but she lights up the UK and she lights up the world through her live streaming. And to give you a bit of background, I'm not a confident person naturally, not a social butterfly, but through coaching, I realized I started my coaching practice 14 years ago, and I didn't know how to grow a business, but I was passionate about it. So I just told people about the work I was doing and the results clients were getting, and people were just inspired. And so I built a business internationally by just talking to strangers and friends, but connecting. And then I started mentoring coaches, and I would say to them, you're the best in the room for a networking event because you know how to put people at ease. You can ask questions that support their thinking and help them be their best self. So the book was actually pulled out of me by a lot of friends and clients and colleagues who said, Kerrie, how do you build an international business from Dubbo, which is this country, we call it a regional city, but for a lot of places that I travel in Asia, it's like a little town. So Dubbo, where I live, is 5 hours over the mountains from Sydney, And yeah, it's a great place, and we can build international businesses from anywhere. And so having that experience, I've shared that with people. And these books, the Do Talk to Strangers message, has taken me to Asia, and live streaming into conferences in the UK, like Lynn has just shared. And I've had an audience of 2,000 people in Russia while I was either at home in Dubbo or Sydney. I think I was here. And yeah, I've been able to connect with people right across the world, but I have been pushing myself out of the comfort zone to connect. And so it doesn't just come easily for me. I live what I teach, and I learn from my book. And sometimes I have those moments of hesitation, and then I remind myself that, you know, this could be helpful for people. And yeah, so that's me in a nutshell, Lynn. And I have a gorgeous son who's graduating from high school this week. So, and I've been married for 24 years to the gorgeous Lyndon. Yeah.
So yeah, so when you, and going back to there where you can do this anywhere in the world, when you actually live streamed into our conference, you were actually between flights. I remember you were sitting in an airport, and we managed to time it so that we could catch you between one flight and the next. So you know, it really is any place, anytime, anywhere, isn't it?
That's right. And I think sometimes we disqualify ourselves because we think, oh, it's too hard. But if we, you know, if I don't have to be in a particular environment, you know, I mean, I got the quietest part of the airport, and, you know, I think that worked well. It was just a 10-minute welcome to conference session. And then later I did have a quiet room to do the afternoon session. But sometimes I think we hesitate to connect because we're trying to get it right, whether it's our physical appearance, whether it's trying to get our business cards just perfect. And so we don't want to do anything until it's all sorted. But connecting is just human being to human being, and we can do that regardless of the environment or where we're at. And just being ourselves is absolutely liberating.
I take a lot of my training from my son Tristan, who of course you know, and I've watched him because it is so easy to make excuses so much of the time. And when he was over here on the Isle of Wight, I watched, he was on the bus and he was writing his blogs via text, you know, talking his blog, should I say, into his phone. He didn't care who was on that bus and who was sitting around. And I do that now. I travel on the bus all the time, and I can zone out now. I can totally, actually, this is my time to do what I need to do. Sometimes I'm actually connecting with people on the bus because it's a great place to connect, and I make loads of my connections on the bus. But if that's not, you know, if I'm not doing that, I would be live. I actually did a live stream on the bus the other day, because normally I do a 10 o'clock at night live, and I'd got delayed because I'd taken a bus that went a long way round rather than wait a long time for the one that goes the short way. So I had to, it stopped for about 10 minutes, and while I was at the bus station, while it was stopped, I just went on and did a live stream from the bus, you know, and connected with people there. So, you know, it is very much not making the excuses, isn't it? You know?
That's right. That's right. And I think, you know, sometimes in terms of not making excuses, sometimes, you know, you think, oh, I'm too tired to talk to anyone. But then you might notice somebody and you think, oh, I'll just go and say hi, or I'll just go and check if they're okay, or maybe I'll just be open to say hello. And I have met some extraordinary people on planes when, you know, I've been tired, I've been traveling a lot, and I think I'm just going to sit here and, you know, just write, or I'll just have a sleep. But I'll just turn and say hello to this person first. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I had this conversation, because they've got some amazing story. So I think just, if we just go through life being open to opportunities, whether it's open to opportunities for us or for us to give and make a difference, but just to be open and be present with people around us, it's really extraordinary what can happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing because, you know, if we start that conversation or we smile at that person, that we may be the only person they connect with that day or even that week. know. So it's important to give that smile or to say that hello.
Yeah, it is. I've just opened your page here so that if people are commenting, I can see it there because I've got comments off here. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions or share any comments because Lynn and I both love interacting. We love knowing he's here. So hi Joseph and Sarah and Lou, and not sure if there's anyone else there. Yeah, great to have people from across the globe connecting.
I pushed Lou out of his comfort zone the other day. Lou runs I just nudged him, let's say, nudged rather than actually pushed.
Okay.
He runs with his family. He runs a wonderful fabric shop with wool and haberdashery, and it's a real treasure trove. And I had been persuading him to get on live and show the world his wonderful his wonderful little shop here in Ryde, and he'd been resisting, and then he actually realised, he did realise the benefit of it. So I said, well, why don't I come in the shop and live stream with you, so that makes it a little bit easier if you do it together. And so we did a wonderful live stream around his shop. I mean, the beauty of his shop anyway is that I've already connected him with people on my in my broadcasting world who don't live on the island, because he can do he could do UK trade. I believe he now can do international trade. I know it was very imminent, so he was just waiting for his website to finish. I'm not quite sure whether that's done, but isn't it wonderful, because those people who I'd introduced him to, they bought in good faith by talking to each other, but then I was able to go in the shop and show all the fabric and all his wonderful things, so he could connect with them and with more people.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I think that's the case for so many of us, because it was your son Tristan who pushed me out of the comfort zone to say, Kerrie, you need to be using Periscope. So Periscope was what everyone was using before Facebook Live was a thing. And I had been doing videos and uploading them to Facebook since, my first video that went online, I think, was YouTube in 2007. And that was because somebody else encouraged me to do it. And then my husband said, here's somewhere you can practice. And I went, oh yeah, here's a practice video. So I talked about customer service. It went on YouTube, even though I thought I was just practicing. My husband said, yeah, but I need to practice putting things on YouTube. And I was like, oh no, I can't do this. But he did. It had like over 18,000 views, because back in the day, nobody was putting videos on YouTube. It was so new, and there were no good customer service or great customer service videos, which amazed me. That's why I got so many views. But yeah, I haven't had results like that since then. But thank you, darling. He's just bought me some coconut water.
How very nice.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
So with, I mean, I actually didn't realise that Tristan had coaxed you to using Periscope. I didn't know that bit of the story. But that, for me, was the Periscope world was wonderful, because back then I had an issue with a very bad leg. And so I was here in my flat, not connecting with anybody. And then all of a sudden, the world was connecting with me. Because Tristan had the Periscope, he was out there live scoping around the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and in fact, on the turn of the millennium, was it the millennium? No, it was at the turn of the year. One of the turns of the year, he was there in the fireworks, and I felt like I was actually there, connecting with everybody that was there at Sydney Harbour Bridge. It was an amazing thing. And of course, now what's happened is my health's got better, and I am now facilitating the same thing for other people. So being able to connect other people with people like you. You see, we're connecting each other with our different worlds. And people are loving it. We've got a lot of people coming into the broadcast here who just love to be connected, to see what's going on with everybody else. They might be a bit nervous themselves of talking to other people, but they can actually do it through our broadcasts and be part of what we do, can't they? And enjoy that.
Yeah. I love that you come from a place of empathy, and I think so many great connectors do. You know, you think about what you've been through and when you've been isolated and how you can connect with people. So you just also reminded me of, you probably didn't have a chance to see, but I did a Facebook Live about 10 minutes before we connected here tonight, because
I went in the shower.
Okay. So I've just been at a LinkedIn local event, which was fantastic. So we met up with people that maybe we already knew on LinkedIn, but we hadn't met face to face, and other people that we just didn't know. So now we're connected. But there was a girl who came who's been here for a little while, but she's from Sweden, and she didn't know anyone at the event, but she saw it online and she thought, well, I'll go to that and meet some great people. So I just love that. We all have those moments of decision where we decide, you know what, I'm going to step out, whether it's stepping out using live stream or it's going to an event. But it's good to remember that you're not the only one who hesitates. You're not the only one who can feel shy about connecting. But just, you know, like I said in the last video, you know, put on your brave boots and just head in there. Just have a go.
Yeah.
Like,
my expression is put on your positive pants. We have positive pants. Put on your positive pants.
Nice.
And but I am going to look for some of my very early streams and my early, probably the videos more than the streams, because by the time I got to live stream, I had gained that confidence. Yeah. But way back about 5 years ago, I can remember my first ones were like a rabbit in the headlights, you know, really scared, but scared, but thrilled that I'd done it. And Joseph's saying here, we're giving him a lot more confidence to connect with strangers. If you just take, you know, if you just feel the fear and do it anyway, the world opens up. You know, Kerrie and I are proof of that. We are just meeting so many wonderful people. This summer, I have live streamed 13 or 14 parades on the island, carnival parades, and I have met the most amazing people here on the island and through the live stream, of course, because people have come into the live stream that I didn't know, and now are regular watchers. So it has opened up a huge world, not only for me, but for my broadcasters. And of course, as I say, when Tristan was live streaming way back, I was housebound, but now my health is better. I'm not housebound. I'm providing that connection. And you are, because when I connect with you, you're helping me connect with my broadcast, my audience. And they've got people who are saying, wow, Lynn, I'm housebound, but this is just such a fantastic thing you're doing. So, you know, it's just lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. And the things that we can learn from each other, I think, is quite extraordinary too. So, you know, while people on my live streams, and Joe has just said, oh, he's going to New Zealand. That's awesome. Yeah, he said, you two lovely ladies are giving me a lot more confidence to connect with strangers. So, you know, we might be teaching, you know, confidence skills and communication skills, and, you know, as well as, you know, being a bit of a tourist ambassador for our areas. You know, sometimes I've done videos from the zoo and, you know, different cool places, but we can teach different things. And so I've just tagged Sarah Jackson. Do you know Sarah Jackson from the UK?
Yes.
Oh
yes,
my gosh,
I do. Yeah.
So have you actually met her face to face?
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure where she is, like, from you, but Sarah's become a dear friend. Yeah, and she's using Facebook to, like, she's educating people about healthy foods, but she's also, like, entertaining. She's just hilarious, and you can build really great friendships with people, you know, across the planet. So when I come to Europe next year, I hope to be meeting all of you face to face.
Of course, I would be offended if we couldn't make it work.
You know what? In here, we've actually got stories about the London Underground, because my parents have been on the tube, and there's another story about a train station in France. So yeah, it's exciting that I'll be able to have my own Do Talk to Strangers stories in Europe, and but also I'm happy to come and speak at events and conferences in the UK. So if anyone is interested in talking to me about that, then let's have a chat.
Yes, do. Now, you mentioned the underground. Now, I live in Ryde here on the Isle of Wight, and for those of you who are looking in might not know where we are, small island off the bottom of the UK, very close to the UK. You don't need a passport to get here. Some people think you do. We're actually about less than 3 hours from London, about 2 hours from London.
Cool.
And so people, but we're a bit of a secret squirrel, which is why I first jumped on to do the live stream to show people where we were, and I've just loved doing that ever since. But we on our Ryde Pier, if I'm going to London, I go up Ryde Pier to catch the fast cat across and then Portsmouth station. But I go on a train, and it's an old London Underground train. They bought some of the old London Underground trains, so they are actually here, and I live stream them regularly when I'm sitting on the seafront. I love to live stream the trains going up and down the pier. And Matt's coming in there. Matt's coming in and saying a lovely island. Now, Matt is somebody I connected with this year. I didn't know him at the beginning of the summer, but he is part of the Newport Carnival team. Newport's our county town right in the middle of the island. And he built the carnival float for the Newport Carnival, and I've connected with him at most of the carnivals. And on Saturday, on the Isle of Wight Day parade, it was torrential rain. It was pouring with rain, but he didn't have a care in the world, and nor did I, that one of the carnival queens couldn't make the procession this time. So he was sitting on the top of the carnival float like the carnival queen. He didn't have the carnival queen's outfit on, but he was just there like, hey, this is wonderful. So he and I have become great friends this summer.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's really cool. Yeah. So so we had quite a conversation last night, Lynn, and I know that that was in my Do Talk to Strangers Facebook group. So if anyone wants to come over there, please just say Lynn sent you, or that you heard us chatting. But I think some of the things that we covered were really helpful. Maybe you give tips quite often on your streams, which is while I'm asleep, being on the other side of the world. But I just think some of the things that we talked about in terms of being confident to go on live, and what's the thinking in our head, when we are stepping out and connecting, whether it's on live stream or not. So I don't know if anyone's got any questions that you want to pop in, but Lynn, one of the things that we talked about was the mindset of being of service to others. Then we find that our nerves just disappear. And I said, when our purpose is clear, our nerves disappear. So you found that too, as you've stepped out.
I have, yes. Much easier to get on and to give some advice. In my world, it is very much about how we work together. Teamwork, making the dream work. It's not about me. It's not we have a singer. We have a phrase here. It's not about the opera singers. Me, 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 me. It's about helping it. Sorry, that wasn't very good. But who cares? I make people laugh. And that's the fun thing. And one of the important things is not to worry about what anybody says. Of course, you'll endorse this. And I'm going to tell the story about the guy who tried to pull me down about 5 years ago. Wasn't very kind, but I have felt like I needed to tell this story, but I also feel that I hope I'm making a difference to him, because obviously he was in a bad place, this person, and he watched me. I was doing a video challenge, a 30-day video challenge. Early days, I've got to practice this. I've got to get on camera. I know this is the way to go. And so every day make a 2-minute video, and I was putting them up on YouTube, and this laughing stock. Now, I've been in some bad places in my life, which is why I think that I want to help other people, get out of their bad places. And fortunately, at this point, I had actually got out of my dark tunnel. And so I actually turned that round and I said to him, oh, I'm glad you've got time to watch my videos, because I know you're a very busy man. And people laugh, because laughter is the best medicine. And do you know, I also suggested that if he had, if if he wanted to, he could actually unfriend me on Facebook. I wouldn't be offended. I would quite understand. To this day, that I have made a difference in his world. I can see that you're saying that I'm freezing. Yes, we're having some issues. No issues on my screen. Listen to the naysay. It is,
but you won't see that.
All right. Right. Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it just keeps freezing.
Right. Oh well, let's push through. At least we've had a better run. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll just see if it stays clear on my end, and I'll just respond to a couple of things that you said, and maybe you guys can just put some feedback in the comments there. So Lynn, I love that so he attacked you for, you know, he didn't like what you're doing, but I love the way you responded respectfully. And my son actually did this on the weekend. I believe what he told me. Topic. And so my son actually he read on Pinterest. Actual chemistry, like I'm a med student. Anyway, it could have gone horribly wrong, but this whole transcript, I couldn't believe it. It was this darling man has just bought a cup of tea. I've known I was out of coconut water.
Nice. I can look to the door, but
you look to the door, but nobody's bringing you.
No, I'm here on my own.
Advise me over there, I'll bring you tea.
Lyndon said if you fly him over, he'll bring you.
Using the internet.
Yeah, no, I think it's on Lynn's end as well. Anyway, so I just love all that to say, respectfully disagree when you're attacked, to respond. It can, you know, sort out sometimes people just vent. They're not thinking about it. They don't want to cut you off forever, but they just want to say whatever spiteful thing they say. So
yeah, I mean, I always remind people it's social media, not anti-social media, you know, and we don't have to agree. One of my favourite phrases is let's agree to disagree. Have a respectful debate. And in fact, I ran a network group here on the island for small businesses, and I had some issues with some people, and they jumped online and were attacking me online respectfully. So somebody would come, and eventually they self-distracted. Answers to keep being nasty. So you know, so that's what I like to do. I was brought up that way, to respect other people, to be kind to other people, and you know, that's what I want to continue to do. I fire up and you know, perhaps get angry years ago. I don't see the point of putting my blood pressure up when somebody else has an issue. You know, so
exactly.
Well, it is a phrase that we have a lot of the time. Yes, absolutely. So, and I have broadcast now who need that lift, who need to be pulled up, not pulled down. And I have this wonderful book I read on a regular day of the week, and then I have all sorts of positive little books. I keep a shop at the gift shop down the bottom of the road in business, because every, you know, these little books, and they have just the most you know, it just most inspirational sayings, things like get up and get going. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. The positive messages, you know, and people, I don't know if you get this, but people say to me, how do you remain so energized and so, you know, so positive? And my answer, and I don't know what yours, energize me. I likened myself, I told you this I think yesterday, you know, do you know the Energizer battery advert with a little rabbit that goes with, you know, and when we were having a couple of months ago, Ride Carnival was in a poll to be voted the most popular carnival in the country. There were 11 carnivals in it across the UK, Ride being the only. And on the Friday, they were 800 points behind, and it was public vote. And people here were giving up. And Matt will tell you, he probably won't mind me saying, he thought catch the leaders because we were 800 points behind. But I'd come from a place where some years ago I was in 6th place for something that needed the top 5, and I'd almost given up. And somebody said to me, Lynn, if you want it badly enough, you can have it. And it was enough to push my motivation button. So I told that story. I said, come on, folks, we want this. We are not going to let anybody take this away from us. And I jumped in and connected with so many people that weekend. It was teamwork making the dream work. So it's everybody helping make the connections. So I jumped in, loads and loads of live streams, loads of talking to everybody and anybody, and we watched the votes go from 800 behind and right up to almost 500 in the lead. So we came out top. We have the bragging rights to say we're the most popular carnival in the country. You know, but loads of connections, talking to strangers all the time on that one.
It just sounds like you have so many fabulous carnivals. I think we all need to come and visit, Lynn.
You will.
And
you
I
will.
didn't get to.
And if you haven't,
I didn't get to hear.
Sorry.
Everything. I didn't get to hear everything that you said because it just would break up for quite a while. It was just freezing, and then I can see on my MacBook it said this broadcast is interrupted. So that's okay because I think I will watch the replay. It sorted out. It'll be fine.
So I mean, it is just so powerful when you talk to strangers, and you can use it for so much good. You know, I mean, I use social media for so good, and you can just use, you know, you can use connecting for social good. So many, but it's also it's connecting the community and making the dream work. By teamwork makes the dream work. That's it. So
absolutely, that's cool. So I think I'm just going to have a look at how many people are live at the moment and all the comments. And we're actually going, speaking of using social media for good, we love to do good through anything that we're doing in the business. And so on behalf of everybody who's on the live stream tonight, we're going to give a day's access to clean drinking water in Cambodia to a family. So that's at least a couple of weeks of access to clean drinking water that we're providing tonight because you've joined us on this live stream. So thanks for the reminder.
Excellent.
Talking about using social media for good. Yeah, something Linda decided the other day. Yeah, that we'll do that. Actually, when I do live streams with somebody for the first time, because I find that a lot of people haven't done a Facebook Live, and I just seem to have this gift of being there for someone's first Facebook Live or getting them on. So we're planting seeds. I think that might be a Cambodia project as well. So yeah, that's really lovely. That's through B1G1, buy one, give one. It's a beautiful community, and I've got lots of UK friends through that community too.
That's good, because I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Nobody needs to feel lonely anymore with the power of the technology. And they can, I mean, there are some people who still don't want to talk to strangers, but they can listen to strangers through the broadcast. They can listen until they're confident enough to have that first conversation. So we're facilitating that as well.
Yes. And you just reminded me, like when people say they don't want to talk to strangers, there was I wrote about it in this book. There was I mean, there's been a lot of research around connection, and there was one particular study that was called Mistakenly Seeking Solitude. And so they had all these people that were part of this research team who traveled on here we go. It's in the Journal of Experimental Psychology General. Professor Nicholas Epley and Juliana Schroeder. So they demonstrated that commuters who engaged with others reported a significantly more positive experience, even when they had experienced a negative result. You may have noticed this yourself as you've been reading this book and looking for opportunities to connect with those around you. There's more smiles than expected, but people, it's called mistakenly seeking solitude because they think that they're going to be better off sitting on the train not talking to anybody. But when they actually do just have a bit of chit chat, they find the trip seems to go faster. It's a more positive experience. You're not bored like you can be when you're sitting on your own. And boredom leads to a sense of isolation and loneliness. So just to step out and, you know, comment on someone's book or their cool bag or their scarf or something, it can just start a conversation that is just mutually enjoyable. Or it could turn into something more amazing. So yeah, do talk to strangers. And it's
I know when I was selling children's books at one stage in my life, I would be out at country fairs and things, and I started conversations like that by, I love your earrings. And I mean, it was a genuine comment. You know, I did like to comment on people's, I mean, people now love my earrings. And actually, I was a couple of minutes late coming on the broadcast because I went to put my earring on and I lost the back of it. Which delayed me for a couple of minutes. Had to go and find another back for my earring. But people tell me off if I don't have my earrings on. You know, they like to see my earrings now. So there we go. You know, it's fun how you can start a conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I better wrap up on my end. I know you do live streams for quite a while. But it's getting past my bedtime. So, man, I could talk to you for ages. But I'm conscious of the next couple of days as well. So is there any final questions that you have or that anybody else has that they want to put in the chat box?
No. Do you want to drop your link to your website in there so that people can see what you've done and get all your links from there?
Sure. And I feel like apologizing for my website. It's going to be reconstructed very soon. It's kind of a bit clunky because of being over 10 years old. But anyway.
It looked fine for me when I was having a look. It looked fine. I found everything I wanted to know.
Yeah, that's good. We just need to get some of the international speaking photos and videos up there because, you know, that's what I'm doing more of at the moment. In the past couple of years, just speaking a lot across Asia. And Yeah, that's really fun. But there's, 14 years of coaching business and all kinds of bits and pieces. And you know what? My book, this one has been on for since end of 2014. But when they put this one on Amazon, they bumped this one off. And so this one is showing the 5-star reviews that belong to this book. So I don't know what you'll get if you ordered it from Amazon. So order it from my website and I can sign it and whatever. Yeah, it's just a Amazon glitch right now. So we need to convince them that they're actually 2 books. They look completely different. They're different page counts. They've got different subtitles. But anyway, we'll sort that out.
I looked at Amazon yesterday and they're both on there. That one's, they're both on there. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so
that's a win.
That was on the UK site.
Oh, yeah. That's fantastic. Maybe the UK's got it sorted out.
Maybe we have. So I'm going to say thank you so much. One thing I'd love to do is be on a stage with you somewhere in the world. That would be a fantastic thing to do. So, maybe we should go for that one day, is being on the same stage and talking about how we connected as well.
Yeah, let's work on that, Lynn.
Yes.
Maybe UK next year. Yeah, I'm on Amazon and I'm only seeing the previous book, which is good because it's back, but I'm not seeing the new Do Talk to Strangers book.
Right.
Maybe you can pop a link in as well.
Yes, I'm sure I saw. So wait a minute. So how many books are there? Maybe I've confused myself. But,
okay. That one, and I can see.
Yes, that was there. Yeah.
That one.
Yes, that was there. I'm sure. Unless I'm confusing myself because I looked at your website too. Hang on.
And that.
Right. Yeah. Let's have a look because I did look at your website, so maybe I might be confusing myself. Let's have a look and see.
Well, on Amazon last week, this was on there, but with the reviews for that one. But now I can see that one is back.
Wait, okay.
And I can't see that.
Right. Okay, let's just put it in and see. Let's find your link and then I'll put it up and we'll have a look and see. Except my computer's on a go slow.
Right.
Here we go. And we've got Do Talk to Strangers. We've got Lifting the Lid on Quiet Achievers, Create the Life Journey, Journal. They're all there. Looks like they're all there. Mm-hmm.
And the little one?
I'm sure that one is... Wait a minute, let me have a look.
There should be 2 different Do Talk to Strangers.
Let me find it. It's not showing, but I'm pretty sure I saw it on there yesterday. Hang on, I'm not on the right. It's not showing me all the results. Wait a minute. Here we go. Sorry, folks. Let's have a look. I've gone to the wrong page. 1, 2. Now it's just showing me 2. Oh, that's for the Kindle store. I'll have to find the link and put it in anyway. All right, I'm not going to waste time over there now. Because I know you're precious. You need to get to bed. I know you've got a very busy schedule.
Yeah, it's a big exciting week this week with one year 12 graduation. It's quite amazing. My boy is suddenly 18. Well, he's been 18 since July, but yeah, school is over because the rest of the school term doesn't finish till December, but because of his exams, like now he's got a school holidays at the end of this week, then it's a study time and exam time, and then it's all over. And then he's off to the Air Force. Very exciting.
But isn't with all our busy time, with all our talking to strangers, what we mustn't do is forget to talk to the ones who are not strangers, the ones right there immediately in our family. And family is just the best time. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I think I did write in the intro to the book, I hope that you'll turn some of my tips and ideas into actions, and that your insights will not only change the way you see the world, but increase the ease with which you connect with strangers, but will connect you more powerfully where it really counts, with those nearest and dearest. So absolutely Lynn.
Yes. And on that note, next week I'm off on granny duty again next
Oh,
week,
cool.
and I love that. I always make time in my busy world for family, most
Yeah,
important.
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so
Okie
much for
dokie.
your
Well,
time, Lynn.
that's all right. Thank you for joining me. And we did it in one without it. I know it got a bit choppy, but at least we didn't have it split into three like we did yesterday.
Yeah.
We got round the technology. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Lynn.
much, and catch up with you soon.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. If you lost some of the sound, watch the replay back, because it might be that that it actually plays through okay. I'm not quite sure. We're not great understanders of the technology. Yesterday, Kerrie interviewed me on her broadcast, and we had some major challenges with the technology, which is why today I said, you know, could she get on today onto mine and see if we could have another go. And so there we are. I am looking forward to maybe meeting Kerrie for real next year, but with the wonders of technology. You know, she was a stranger, I spoke to her, and now we feel that we're not strangers anymore. I do hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Please share with other people if you feel that there was some value in this. If there's other people that you'd like me to interview, then please get in touch and let me know. I must today get hold of Vanessa, who wrote Butterfly Whispers. She is on my list, and she has said she will stream with me. But again, she's a very busy person, so I need to find a time when she's got a little slot, so we can chat with her. There are lots more people worthy of interviews, so if you think of anybody that you'd like to know, then let me know. Otherwise, I shall be searching lots more people out to be interviewed by Golivegranny. And in the meantime, you know, without the interviews, I do lots of live streams. Have fun with Golivegranny. Fun is what it's all about. People here on the Isle of Wight are now asking me to go out and live stream their events. Perhaps I didn't know about them. I live stream as much and as often as I can here on the Isle of Wight and beyond. And so obviously the interviews like this can go stretching right across the globe. I'm more than happy to travel to be a speaker. Because I went to Kettering recently to be a speaker, and ended up encouraging quite a few more new people who now live stream and have live streamed since then. So, you know, it's all about connecting and talking to strangers, and all those strangers becoming new friends. Every day I make new friends. Last night I was out at a function with my brother, and the speakers, it was a full gospel men's meal, and there were two husband and wife team who gave their testimonials of how they came to Jesus, and they were very strong testimonials. They are now friends on Facebook. I didn't really know that. I knew of them yesterday, but I didn't know them. Now we are friends. We met last night, and now we're Facebook friends. And in fact, they may have been watching the broadcast this morning. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. And I will be doing various broadcasts on and off through the weeks and through the months coming. Somebody has invited me to something tonight they wanted me to talk about, and lots more things coming up. So please keep watching. This weekend I will be, God willing, I will be at the Sweet Corn Fair at Arreton on the Isle of Wight. It's been running for years. I've never been before, so hopefully the weather will be kinder to us than it was for Isle of Wight Day last week. But if not, I will take the magic blue tarpaulin. And if you don't know about that, you need to watch some of the broadcasts or send me a message. I'm going to love you and leave you now. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed this broadcast, and hope to see you on another one very soon. Bye for now.